America's most high-powered civil rights attorney soon will have his day in court to address sexual assault allegations of his own. Sanford Rubenstein, one of Reverend Al Sharpton's closest allies, accused of sexually assaulting a woman who works for Sharpton. And we will take a look at the campaign trail here, which means parties and candidates are rolling out their ads. Why Democrats upset with one of the GOP's latest ads targeting female voters. Plus, convicted cop killer Muma Abu Jamal speaking before Goddard College graduating class, telling them they should strive to make the world a better place. Was a college out of line, giving him a platform to speak. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Thank you for joining us. This evening, we begin in New York City, where high-powered civil rights attorney Sanford Rubenstein is fighting off sexual assault allegations. Rubenstein, who's currently representing the family of Eric Garner, the man who died after being put in that chokehold by an NYPD officer on Staten Island over the summer, is accused of sexually assaulting a woman after Reverend Sharpton's 60th birthday bash last week. Tonight, the Daily News reporting that the woman who works for Sharpton's National Action Network had consensual sex with Rubenstein on 2 other occasions. Sharpton says he's stuck between a rock and a hard place because he's a close relationship with both Mr. Rubenstein and the woman in question. However, Sharpton said, I don't care how close we are. If he's wrong, he's wrong. And the Rubenstein case brings yet another blow to Sharpton, who's also had a close relationship with Rachel Nordlinger, who's the top advisor to Bill de Blasio's wife, Charlene McCray. An inquiry being opened into Nordlinger surrounding her boyfriend, who is a convicted felon accused of making derogatory remarks about police. All right, let's go around the table here on this and discuss this as well as other issues that caught our attention. And we're going to start off Jeannie Zaino, professor of political science at Iona College, professor of campaign management as well at NYU. Dominic Carter, political journalist and author. Andrew Whitman, our senior political correspondent. And Dom, I'm going to start with you on the Rubenstein story because I'm heading into Mass on Sunday. And all of a sudden I get a text saying, heads up, you know, and you let me know about this. So let's set the stage here a little bit. This isn't just a sexual assault allegation. We're talking about an attorney who's a civil rights attorney who's brought probably as many cases against the cops as anybody in recent about police force, who's very close with Sharpton. You can explain in a second how the process works officially, unofficially between the two. And this woman who actually has worked for Sharpton's agency. This is in the middle of the Garner case, which apparently Sharpton went to today to go talk to the Garner family to try and figure out who's going to continue to represent them. Give the backstory to this thing.
First of all, it's a mess. It all started this weekend. The lawyer in question, you have to understand, in full disclosure, I have been to several parties at his home where this allegedly happened. To say he has a nice home is the understatement of the year. It's a penthouse where you can see Manhattan, I believe, on 3 sides. And this is the type of guy, the type of lawyer, where he drives around. You know how we all have a car to get around? He has a chauffeur-driven limousine. That's the type of personality you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. His lifestyle is widely known. He's not married, okay? But some of the things that he does, the women he dates, it's widely known to those that have been around him for years. I'm surprised something like this hasn't happened years ago. Mr. Sharpton finds himself in a tight situation because he's tight with the lawyer here, the one you're looking at right now, who handles a lot of these civil rights cases where the settlements come down anywhere between $5 and $10 million. But he's also tight with the woman in question of this alleged rape, if that's what the police deem it to be, because she apparently is on the board of the National Action Network. It's a mess. The lawyer's probably in all likelihood going to have to step down from the Garner case. And for the NYPD, what we're hearing from those behind the scenes is that it's payback time as it relates to this investigation.
We've seen, though, with the Nordlinger case and also now with the Rubenstein case, just how interconnected Sharpton is on so many different levels. First of all, within the de Blasio administration, but also...
And the mayor was also at that party. So it's a mess. I think the professor can elaborate on that a little further. But I didn't mean to cut you off, Richard. But the mayor was at that party. The governor was at that party. it is a potential mess.
And this was a 60th birthday party for Mr. Sharpton. I think Dominic said it best. It is a mess, but at the same time, you get an idea just how interconnected within both city politics, any civil rights case, forget about just New York, nationally even, it seems right now, that Al Sharpton's involved in. And in many cases, he's got to choose picking sides here, if you will, in these different things. So talk about somebody who's got a lot of balls up in the air right now, Reverend Al.
No, absolutely. And as was noted, this was the same night as the Al Smith dinner. And as Dominic noted, the governor and the mayor both went from the Al Smith dinner to Reverend Al's party. And that was noted in the papers, with some people taking exception to that. And then, of course, not that they bear any responsibility, obviously, for what happens afterwards or what didn't happen afterwards. But you're absolutely right. I mean, this is something that people have been talking about since Mayor de Blasio became mayor, is how much reach Al Sharpton has in the de Blasio administration, and certainly in New York City politics and state politics. And, you know, you mentioned nationally, look at the Michael Brown case. I mean, this extends nationally. So, you know, I think it does put him in a very tough position because he's connected to both of these people, as Dominic mentioned.